We got word this afternoon that New Yorker writer Ronan Farrow is about to drop another sexual harassment blockbuster. While no details are available yet, CBS stock has dropped dramatically on word that its chairman and CEO, Les Moonves, has been accused of unwanted kissing and touching. The New Yorker says it does not comment on unpublished stories, but according to The Hollywood Reporter, Ronan Farrow's expose details harassment charges against Moonves that go back as far as 20 years, and some more recent. Farrow was the reporter who broke the story about Hollywood movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. The story comes just as CBS and Viacom are locked in a battle over a merger of the two companies. So this afternoon, CBS put out a statement from its board of directors saying they were going to investigate this independently before this report comes out today. And they also suggested, though, in this statement that somehow Shari Redstone, the majority owner of Viacom, might have had something to do with this story coming out. They questioned the timing, and then, of course, Redstone fires back, the insinuation that I had anything to do with this is just, flat out disgracefully wrong. So, but, I mean, my guess is Ronan Farrow has been working on this for months. Mm-hmm. If CBS had wanted to get out ahead of this, they should have said it's being investigated, and they should have done it that way, rather than wait for the 11th hour.
That particular statement doesn't strike me as being very astute on CBS's part, because if Ronan Farrow's story is correct, and when hasn't one of Ronan Farrow's stories been correct, who cares where it came from? Yeah. It doesn't matter. What matters is the truth of it, and I think CBS made a mistake.
I think right now we just don't know enough. I think I suspect we're going to hear something from Les Moonves hopefully pretty soon once this comes out. But I shrink back from this a little bit when the allegations are unwanted kissing and or touching. That's a long way from Harvey Weinstein. And it could well be, and I have to say, the culture of some places. Hollywood is the kind of place where when you've met somebody for 15 minutes and you say goodbye, male, female, there is the faux kiss on the cheek and that sort of thing. And I somewhere between that and perhaps a Harvey Weinstein may be where this story is. That's, I think, to be determined here. But the fight between Shari Redstone and Les Moonves over the merger between Viacom and CBS, ultimately, that has gotten to the point where it's so bitter that it ought to be a show all by itself of Survivor, yeah. And one of those two is going to make it off the island. So it's.
Well, the story has got to be less potent than the Weinstein story, for sure. But I will say that the New Yorker in this case is something of a magic word in terms of journalism. They have been pursuing these kinds of stories now for 2 years. And David Remnick, the editor there, has worked very closely with Ronan Farrow, who's really fairly new into this. He's only been doing this, 18 months or so. But I got a chance to talk to him when New Yorker won the Public Service Pulitzer earlier this year. And he and David Remnick really worked very closely together. And Ronan is one of those reporters who really, really digs deep. So he is going to have a story that I think probably will wake up a lot of people.
Well-sourced.
Yes, yeah. For sure. Deep, well-sourced story.
Which brings me to pushing back against the unwanted kissing and touching, because it's how it's received on the other end. And there's no question that anybody that Les Moonves would be reaching out to that's perceived as unwanted kissing, the power dynamic is all on his side. So there's nowhere to go there except to know that you would feel, wherever you are on the spectrum, short of being Julie Chen, who is his wife, that you're in some kind of danger. You're not in a safe space. So the second part of that is that because Ronan Farrow does such a thorough job, that I'm expecting that what the evidence and who he's talked to will leave us with a sense of, this is what's really happening, and not some question about whether or not it might have happened or all of that. So.